Happy International Women's Day. What better way to celebrate than with our own boss lady, Tina Quigley, General Manager of the RTC. Now, I'm sure you guys are all dying to know a little bit more about her, so let's sit down for a little Q&A.
All right.
So what is the one thing that most people don't know about you?
Well, I am a little bit of an introvert. I love a party. I love to go out. I love all the social aspects of my job and the exposure, but I gotta tell you, on the weekends, it's totally okay with me to cuddle up on my chair with my electric blanket and a book and just have some downtime and re-energize.
That's good. What are you currently reading?
So I am currently reading a book called Road to Reinvention, which is work-related. I will admit that all my stuff is work-related. It's very rare that I'll spoil myself with a fiction, but I need to do more of that. But the Road to Reinvention is we've got so much disruption going on in our industry. I'm enjoying this book because it talks about, how to deal with disruption, how to be prepared for it and stay ahead of it. And I like that.
So you read, but I've also heard that you pilot helicopters?
Well, not helicopters.
Helicopters.
But just fixed wing aircraft. Just small private aircraft. 172, 182 is what I've been certified in. And it's been a while since I've flown. It's hard to do when you have young kids. But I've always enjoyed the blend of it's a mental challenge and it's a physical challenge, and it's one where you kind of have to stay alert. And I've always actually liked the earth sciences, when you do need to know a lot about earth science associated with flying.
That's a pretty big deal, by the way. Pretty big deal.
It's fun.
So how did you get into that?
Well, actually, when I was 16, I had told my parents I wanted to be a pilot. And when I was 16, they gave me flying lessons, just an introduction to flying lessons, and I really liked it. And in fact, I was going to be a pilot. I went to school for it for a while, and then I realized that one, it was very expensive to get all the ratings that I was going to need to get to be a private pilot. Then this was before LASIK, and so I was having a challenge meeting the minimum requirements for your eye test. And then also, I was a female at the time. They didn't have a quota and weren't really hiring a lot of females. So I figured probably it's going to be a challenging career. So I switched to airport planning, and I actually was an airport planner for many years.
That's super interesting.
Yeah.
So what was your first job before the airport?
Oh, it's always been aviation. So, I actually worked at United while I was in high school. Just before college, I worked at United Express Airlines as a ticket agent at Sonoma County Airport, very small airport in Northern California, as a ticket agent. Well, actually, that kind of job, you were the ticket agent, you were the baggage claim person, you were the wander, the screener. This was before 9/11, so I would actually screen people with the wand. You were I was the lady in my heels. I'd go out there and flag I did it all for like $5.60 an hour.
Wow.
It was awesome because you did have flight benefits. So
that is awesome.
Yeah.
So I think the whole doing it all kind of relates to your future as well. I mean, you've been doing it all. You have a family. You have a great career. So can you really have it all?
I think I always say it takes a village. There is no way that I could have supersized my career during the time that I was also raising kids if I hadn't had my parents. My parents moved here when my kids were young to help me out, and that was an absolute gift, and it's a gift that I plan to give to my children if they ever ask for it. It is really hard to be... Plus, I was married to a pilot, and so when he was out of town, I was single mom. There's just no way that you could do all of it. So it takes a village. It does. I'll never shy away from the fact that you get by with a little help from your friends.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What are your proudest accomplishments?
I think I'm feeling the most proud about my life and my career in particular right now. I think my proudest accomplishment is the team that I've surrounded myself with here at the RTC. And I know that sounds so cliche, but I really mean it. I think, remember I said it takes a village to do it all? I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing at the national level, at the state level, at the community level if I wasn't surrounded by a team of these really smart, independent, self-initiating people who are loyal and care. I feel like all of our oars are rowing in the same direction, and that is a luxury. Most people at a general manager level don't have that luxury. So it's never lost on me.
So looking back throughout your career and even personal life, is there someone that you look up to the most?
So my very first boss was the director of aviation at the airport, McCarran Airport. His name was Bob Broadbent, and he's passed away now. But he took a chance on me and Jacob Snow, who was, and Curtis Miles, back in the super early 90s. We were interns, in letting us get involved in some projects that I don't think other people would have let us get involved in, to take a risk on some intern level employees, to let us do some stuff, gave me the self-confidence, I think, that I may not have otherwise had, and I never forget that either. I always thanked him for believing in me, because it made me believe in myself. And my former boss, Jacob Snow, was the same way. He believed in me, and in turn, I believed in myself when that wasn't naturally who I was. Another person that I have considered who has helped shape my life is in my career is Pat Mulroy, who was the former general manager of the Water Authority. And I love her because one of the first things she told me when I took my job, and I've passed this on to all women, actually everybody, she said, never forget, just because on an organizational chart you report to a board or you report to that boss, that never confuse them with actually being your real bosses. Your real bosses, when you're in government, local government, is the community.
What's the largest obstacle you've had to overcome?
Probably myself, right? I'd say that there are times in your career where you're stagnant, you're feeling really stagnant, and I've been through that. Our careers are always going up and down, right? There's moments where we're riding a wave, and then there's times when we're like, God, I feel stuck, I'm bored, I'm not challenged. And I think I needed to learn to overcome those points in life where you feel stuck or challenged, and recognize that the onus is on myself to change it. One, you have to accept that it's always going to be going up and down. You're always going to have periods of satisfaction and dissatisfaction. But it's your own responsibility when you are in those periods of dissatisfaction to figure out how to get out of it. Mm-hmm. And I think I've had to learn that.
So either fix it or get out of it.
Yeah, fix it or move on.
Do you feel like you've ever had to compromise between career, personal life, or anything along those lines?
So many times. And they're always small. I mean, it's never, I don't feel like I've had to compromise at a large level with my large decisions. Oh, that's not true. I did compromise one time for the family, yeah. When my kids were Jacob Snow, the previous general manager, had asked me to come here and work for him when he first came over here. And I had to say no, because I had young kids and I knew this job would be more demanding than I could put into. So yeah, I did. Luckily, he came back a few years later and asked again, and I was ready. But I think when you're a parent and very passionate about your career, there are always times where you feel like you're giving not enough attention to one or the other.
Knowing what you know now,
okay,
what would you tell your younger self if you could go back?
Oh, it's so cliche, but don't sweat the small stuff. Oh my gosh, I can remember sometimes losing sleep over projects, or being so angry about something, or the way the project was headed, or a decision that had been made. And it doesn't matter. The project still gets accomplished. And so my new things I'll ask myself is, I actually taught this to my kids. Ask yourself, is this going to matter tomorrow? Okay, maybe it is. Is it going to matter next week? Is it going to matter next year? And I can tell you it's not going to matter next year, because I keep a journal of things that I'll write down, things that are on my mind or bothering me. In a year, it'll pop back up 1 year later. It's an electronic journal, so and I'll read the entry and I'll think, God, I don't even remember that. What was that? So I know it's not going to matter a year from now. So I try to remember that. So don't sweat the small stuff. And I know, and it's so cliche, and it's all small stuff, but trust me, a year from now, you're not even going to remember what it was.
What is one goal that you're determined to achieve in your lifetime?
Oh, here's my bucket list item, and I am going to do it. I'm going to go see the Northern Lights.
Ooh, in Iceland?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm doing it in Iceland. I'm going all the way out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I'm going to do it.
I
you
like
can
that.
come. I want to put together a group of people who want to do it.
I've been wanting to go to Reykjavik. I'll come.
So if anybody wants to go, I want to go like in the next year or two.
Let's do it.
Oh, we're going to do it right. We're flying all the way to the North Pole.
Meet Santa.
We're camping in snow. Yeah.
All right. I like that. So that pretty much wraps up the questions. Is there anything that you want our viewers to know?
I would emphasize two things that we kind of talked about today is one, build your fan club, right? Create relationships, because in the end, that's what you're going to need to either work around your obstacles or to overcome whatever it is you need to overcome. Your fan club is what is going to get you through it all. And then number two would just be, take self-responsibility. When you're feeling stuck, it's nobody else's responsibility but your own to get unstuck.
Very good.
Learn the hard way. Been through it.
That pretty much wraps up our Q&A. If anyone has questions, feel free to submit them on Facebook. But happy International Women's Day. What a great day. Thanks for everyone tuning in. Goodbye.